Welcome to June 17th, 2013. The conversation this week continues, and we might actually see some tangible progress as Venus and Mercury align in an exact conjunction at 22 degrees Cancer. This is an interesting placement since it aligns with natal Mercury of the United States, which is where the natal Mercury is in the United States, which occurs in the 8th house. So how does that unfold? 8th house are issues about taxes, loans, legal disputes, and the like. It's also the house of inheritance. What did we inherit from our forefathers that might be reconsidered? Second Amendment, perhaps? It may indicate a long-standing financial agreement that finally comes to light, or that the deeds of the misspent past finally come due. It can go either way. Since we have spent so many years digging ourselves into this gigantic hole, we may finally see the consequences staring us in the face, and therefore in a state of near collapse. Or this may be a time to reconsider things. You know, Roosevelt wanted to rewrite the Constitution years ago. Or conversely, we may be about to repair that which has gone way too far. Mercury is currently in its shadow period leading up to the retrograde coming next week. So we could be seeing some weirdness in and around all sorts of financial reform. Venus is there though, so it can align and sort of sweeten the talk a little bit. Later in the week, the Sun moves into Cancer and shifts our thoughts towards the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And it's usually a cause for celebration in many cultures, and it does represent a milestone in the course of nature and her natural cycles. This is the week the Sun is also joined by Jupiter, which expands all that it touches. That, of course, can work both ways, so we have to be mindful of that because, expansion can be good, it can also be bad. But we've got to find the right chart there, the right spot in the chart. In the chart of the United States, this falls in our house of relationships. We might be up against a new agreement with other countries and other factions, perhaps. The themes of the period are heightened and quite visceral with the Sun present. The Sun really does heat up things. Meanwhile, the tense square of Uranus and Pluto has diminished as it moves into a period of separation. I talked about this the other time. This dwindling effect eases the potential for caustic change and softens until the next time. So we have some breathing space here, and we might be able to see some real progress here. Remember, history does pan out with astrology. It really is very indicative. As I mentioned before, Roosevelt did try to rewrite the Constitution. We may be looking at things like that. True astrology begins with the accuracy of the chart. Birth date, birthplace, birth time, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. And we know that the accuracy is there. When you find that, you have got an amazing set of instructions before you, and they are unique to you. What I talk about here is more for the general planet as a species and what's going on in the world. My radio show each Saturday, Contact Talk Radio, Turning of the Wheel is the name. It's on 11 o'clock every Saturday morning. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it from my website. You can get it from Facebook. You can get it from Twitter. I'm everywhere. But the best thing for you to do, if you're really curious about astrology, is to get a personal reading because it's going to be unique to you and you're going to be fascinated by what you learn. Contact me at chris@chrisflisher.com. My website is turningofthewheel.com or chrisflisher.com. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you.